He woke up already late. The world felt loud. His mind felt louder. He could see 100 things he had to do and no way to start. But what happened next is what separates the broken from the unbreakable. Jordan was ordinary. Late 20s. A small apartment with one lamp and a stack of unpaid bills. He worked 2 jobs. He was studying for a promotion. He was trying to keep his parents from worrying. He slept with his phone across the pillow. He drank coffee like air. He loved big dreams, but his hours were thin. Sound familiar? This is someone you know. This is someone you are. The problem was not ambition. The problem was attention. He'd sit down to write a report and lose an hour to scrolling. He'd open his laptop and the 1,000 tabs would look like open doors, each promising relief. The silence of his failure was loud. A clock ticked. The refrigerator hummed. Notifications chimed like tiny voices saying, "Not now." There was a taste of metal in his mouth. A small panic behind the ribs. The weight of one more unfinished thing pressed like a stone. Nights were not for rest. They were for replaying the day's small defeats. Mornings were for apologizing to himself again. Days blurred. Deadlines crept. His girlfriend stopped asking, "Are you okay?" and started saying, "You're here, but you're not." The promotion slipped. A friend got the job he wanted. He began to believe focus was a gift others were born with, and he was not. Then came the storm, not a weather storm. A late-night thunderstorm that knocked the building's power out. Laptop dark. Screens black. For an hour, nothing changed. No small lights. No pings. Nothing to distract him but the sound of rain and his breath. He wanted to cry. He wanted to panic. He sat in the dark and listened. An old man from the building's 5th floor came upstairs. He carried a small brass watch and a flashlight. He knocked on Jordan's door because in the building, people still checked on one another. The man's name was Mr. Reyes. He had a face like a map, lined, patient, certain. He handed Jordan a paper cup of coffee he'd heated on a gas stove. He sat down without asking permission. He looked at Jordan like someone looking at a cracked picture but still seeing the person in it. "You seem rushed," Mr. Reyes said. His voice was nothing like an internet coach. It was thin and real. Rushed people do small things poorly. Slow people do small things well. Jordan laughed because he wanted to scream. "I have too much to do," he said. "I need to do it fast." Mr. Reyes tapped the brass watch. It ticked with a soft, steady rhythm. "Speed is easy when you can focus," he said. "Focus is a muscle. You can train it, but you need the right exercises." That was the cinematic turn. The cheap apartment became a temple where a tiny ritual began. The storm was the catalyst. The man with the watch handed Jordan a simple truth and a simple tool, a 5-minute brass timer and 3 rules. The rules were not flashy. They were not new. They were honest. 1. Make the first act the smallest. 2. Guard the door, close everything that rings or shouts. 3. Rest like you mean it. Mr. Reyes did not hand him a productivity app. He handed him a rule that could be said in a kitchen. Over the next weeks, Jordan learned 7 truths like a monk learning to tie his shoes. He said them out loud. He wrote them on a sticky note. He lived them like small vows. Discipline is a lamp. Light it, and the path will appear. Focus is a muscle. Train it with tiny weights. 5 minutes, then 10, then 20. Clarity is a mirror. Clear it of clutter and it will show what matters. Ritual is a gatekeeper. The same start keeps chaos out. Task is a river. Follow one current, and you will move faster than chasing 100 streams. Rest is not lazy. Rest is fuel. Without it, the engine stalls. The smallest win is still a win. Stack them, and you build a mountain. Each line landed like a bell. Each truth was short. Each truth could be whispered between meetings. He began with 5 minutes. Jordan set the brass timer. He closed his laptop tabs. He silenced his phone. He wrote 1 sentence. 1. The timer dinged. He stopped. He breathed. He felt small and proud. He had begun. He scaled from 5 to 15 to 30. He learned the shape of his attention. He discovered times of day when he flowed and times when he fought. He learned to mark the work, deep for the writing that needed a river of thought, shallow for the chores that needed speed. He stopped doing everything that was not his job. He stopped answering every message. He deleted one app that was designed to eat his hours. The first week the change looked like luck. The second week it looked like work. The third week it felt like a new body. He still failed some days. He still opened the wrong tab. But failure became smaller. Failures were now one line in a notebook, not the whole page. Cinematically, the small wins stacked. He finished a report in an hour that used to take him 3. He showed up to a meeting clear and short. He left with a compliment he had not heard in months. He got a small bonus. His girlfriend noticed the difference before the office did. She said, "You're back." That sentence smelled like rain after heat. Jordan did not become perfect. He became present. He traded frantic breaths for measured ones. He learned to start with a ritual: make tea, set the timer, write the first sentence. He added a rule at night: an hour without screens before bed. He slept deeper. He woke with light, not dread. So what are the lessons that mattered? Here are the ones Jordan lived, in the language of a parable, each a lantern to hold on a dark walk. 1. Focus is a muscle, use it or it will atrophy. 2. The first small act wins the war of inertia. Start tiny. 3. Protect your work like a guard at a gate. Close doors, silence horns. 4. Rhythm kills panic. A ritual calms the mind. 5. Single tasking is speed disguised as patience. One current moves you farther than 10 streams. 6. Rest is not an enemy. It is the blacksmith of stamina. 7. Patience compounds. Small, honest acts outpace big, frantic ones. These are not hacks. They are habits. They are the slow architecture of new days. In the end, Jordan stood in front of his cracked mirror. He saw the same face. He saw also the small changes: a steady gaze, a jaw less tight, a list with fewer unchecked items. The promotion came slowly. The real change was quieter. He could sit with one thing and finish it. He could listen. He could be in his life instead of watching it scroll by. So, my friend, if you have ever felt like him, know this: focus is not a prize for the chosen. It is a craft. It is a daily ritual. It is a choice repeated so many times it becomes a life. If you try nothing else, try this tonight. Pick the smallest thing that matters, set a 5-minute timer, close your doors, and do only that. That is how mountains begin, one pebble at a time. Like this video. Subscribe for more real and life-changing stories every day. And share this with someone who needs to hear. Focus is a tiny ritual, not a big miracle.